Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
Yes, indeed.
Yo-Yo.
Hey.
She's no stranger to radio, though. You used to be, I mean, you do Sirius XM now, but you used to be on K-Day.
Yep, K-Day.
Yep.
Yep, I did K-Day. I did Power 106.
Oh, you did 106
Yeah,
too?
I did Power. I started at Power 106.
What was your shift there?
Oh, overnights.
Got you.
94.
Wow.
Yeah, 94. I was doing overnights.
And then
Still
K-Day
had
was
the
what?
amazing voice too.
Yes,
why I
radio.
think it's-
Hey, I'm sorry.
What was the shift at K-Day?
K-Day. I started when K-Day was rebuilding, so I did every shift.
Got you.
You name it. I did morning shows, everything.
That was under AD?
Yep. No, AD. That was before AD came.
Before AD came.
Yeah, before
Okay.
AD came. AD likes to take the credit, but it was before AD.
I saw Yo-Yo at the Essence Festival.
Right.
I had to slide away because everybody was running up on her asking for pictures. and
I'm
everything.
always happy to see you. You always solo like me, just really in and
I was
out.
definitely walking around by myself.
Now, Yo-Yo, why are you doing Love and Hip Hop?
Why not?
Because the first thing I typed in Yo-Yo Love and Hip Hop, and I see 90s rapper Yo-Yo beat up a girl from Love and Hip Hop, two-pieced her
Hey,
because she
you
was
put
talking
hands on
crazy.
somebody already?
Socked her right in her mouth. Shut up.
What she
no,
said
I'm only
to you?
joking. I'm only joking. That's all. Of course,
What
that's
she said?
lies. Nothing happened. That's all lies. I don't have fights.
Yeah, she's a
So you didn't
mentor
two-piece
to
anybody?
these young
No,
women.
I mean, I liked it because they said I two-pieced her. She didn't two-piece me.
Then it really
So
would've been
it
an
made it feel
outrage.
good, but
Okay,
no,
okay.
but it's all
Yeah,
just,
nobody said it was a fight.
And
They said
my
you
mom
won.
called me. She was, what the hell? They said, and my daughter goes, Mom, you made the tabloids. Relax.
So you didn't two-piece anybody. No fights for Yo-Yo.
No.
Okay.
She's a mentor on the show,
I
uplifting
am.
women.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's what you're doing on the show. Okay, now it makes more sense.
Well, I mean, it's what I do anyway. I mean, pretty much it's just diving into this new generation of what's taking place, rebranding myself, reestablishing myself in the industry we help create.
So you're bringing the real hip-hop to Love and Hip Hop.
I'm just bringing entertainment to an entertainment show, and
Gotcha.
hip hop is the base of it. So I get a chance for the world to see what Yo-Yo's doing, what I've been doing, and in the middle of it, I'm breaking up some shit. Back up,
Right.
no fighting.
The only
what
thing I
we're
don't like
talking
about
about.
stuff like that is the people who don't know your history won't
Right.
learn it from Love and Hip Hop.
And you know what? And it's okay. But if I never dive in, they'll never know anyway.
True.
Because the best part of me is not being too big for anything. I mean, I had to let go my ego a long time ago in order to survive in this industry, because ego has no place here. I mean, you have to rebrand yourself. And with rebranding, I have to forget who I was. I mean, you have respect for who I am. I mean, you understand, but kind of like,
I like that you're doing Love and Hip Hop. I don't like when people try to tell you, why did you do that? You
because
shouldn't do
guess what?
that.
I'm gonna have everybody on it. You're about to have Love and Hip Hop, Lil Kim in New York. You're about to have. I'm hoping. No, maybe not.
You just spoiling something?
No, I'm only joking.
Now let's start from the beginning for people who don't know. Now
Yes.
Yo-Yo is a rapper from the West Coast that
Yes.
came up under Ice Cube.
Got
Yes.
your
Ice
start
Cube's
on
protege.
America's Most Wanted album.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about how you got into the game for people that don't know. How you started rapping, how you met Ice Cube, or if y'all are still cool, all of that.
I was the best on the West. There was no one else that did it like me. Cube was leaving NWA looking for a female artist, and T-Bone, who became a member of the Lynch Mob, told him about me. Cube didn't live too far from the school I graduated from, Washington Prep. He came over and wanted to speak to me. We were friends from the beginning.
Dope.
Took me to New York to meet Miss Sylvia Rohn. It's been 30 years since I've been singing the same old song. You can't play with my...
No, yeah.
What happened
Don't try to
with
play
that
me out.
Cube? What happened with the Cube situation?
Meaning?
Like as far as when you came out with him, he was kind of taking you on
Yes.
his wing, and then it just seemed like
Well,
he was in
you know
limbo
what?
for a while.
Yeah, well, because industry happened, record labels happened. I mean, Cube had a deal with Sylvia Rohn outside of me, which was the Lynch Mob. They had a falling out, and Cube left dealing with Sylvia at that time, and I stayed. And it
You
kind
had
of messed up the
Romantic Call with
relation.
Patra, that was my joint too.
I know. With Tupac, I'm on. I know. What happened to Patra? Huh?
I think she's
Jesus
still working.
Christ, that's a good question though. Why didn't you seek to do more remixes? Like you did the Brandy joint, which was hard.
Yeah.
Why didn't you do more stuff like that to keep your name out there rap wise?
You know what? It had got to a point for me. The industry got to a. I'm a major baby, so meaning I was raised by the industry. It got to a place where, at some point, I didn't really know if hip hop was even going to last. Once I got to a certain age, I started feeling like, dag, it could all fall. I started feeling like a bird. I could just fall out the sky any day, and everything would end. And I felt like I had nothing. For me, I felt like I wanted to stop doing music. At the same time, music was changing. Lil' Kim, Foxy Brown was coming into the game. I mean, you know, I tried to rap like that, just wouldn't come out.
Oh, you tried to do like the whole sexual...
Right.
Yeah.
I could get in a... just wouldn't come out like that. I tried.
Is it true R. Kelly gave your daughter his number?
Yes. Aw. Yeah. So R. Kelly's having it so hard right now, huh?
Ain't nobody feel sorry for him.
I know. Yeah.
How did you feel about that?
Well, I felt like he wouldn't have gave Snoop's daughter his number. I felt like he wouldn't have gave Cube's daughter his number. So I felt like it was because I was a woman again that he tried to play me out.
I don't know about that though, because I feel like R.
I
Kelly
like that reference.
Yeah,
He tried to
trying
play me
to-
out.
Hey.
He tried to play me
I
out.
feel like he don't have no shame in his game. There's
Well,
people
you know
that
what?
he was very close to, and he was.
I mean, but in all due respect, I went there because I didn't even judge him. I didn't have any judgment. I didn't even know all of the history of everything that was going on. I never dove in it. When I went to Chicago, we'd go because of Selena Johnson and just different people I knew. So I really didn't dive in it. When he came out and they said, oh, he was going to be at the studio not far from where we were recording, I said, oh, yeah, let's stop by. I did think about me having my daughter with me.
How
I
old was
did
your
think
daughter at the
about
time?
my daughter was Tiffany's 23 at the time, 22, 23. I did think about having my daughter with me, but I was just thinking like, you know, he wouldn't. I mean, you know, he's in enough freaking trouble. Why the hell would he try some stuff like that? You know,
It's a sickness.
Exactly, and that's what it told me. So when we got home, I mean, we had he played music. I was just sitting there thinking like, damn, this guy's a genius. Oh my God, I just love him. I'm just serious. You know, listening to his music, we were sitting next to each other, he's playing the music, and afterwards, we got home, we left. I mean, we didn't stay long. We left, and my daughter said, Mom, can I tell you something? She's like, you're going to be mad? I'm like, tell me. She's like, R. Kelly's, the guy with R. Kelly gave me R. Kelly's number. And I said, he did what? And I said, how do you know that's R. Kelly's number? And she says, because when R. Kelly hugged me, he said, call me.
Wow.
I said, what?
Wow.
There had to be a part of you that was like, I knew that.
Did you call him though?
Well, you know what? When we all took up, no, I didn't call him.
Oh, you should have called him.
Well, and I thought about it, but you know what? My daughter asked me. She's, you know, and that's how when I watched the show afterwards with all the girls surviving R. Kelly, I thought about that because I didn't call him, and so many, you know, my daughter asked me, Mom, please don't say nothing. I'm not gonna call him. Here's the number. You know, I'm thinking like, dag, I can only imagine.
Right. How many?
Had she called him and kept it from me.
Right.
I mean, because fame, that attraction to fame is something.
And you think about all the people on that documentary. People were like, "Oh, what kind of parenting? Why would they have?" But you, like you said, didn't really think that.
But people said it. I mean, my friends joked like, "All right, you taking your daughter up," you know, because we took a picture. They like, "Okay, all right," you know, making jokes on my post. And I'm thinking, and then after the surviving R. Kelly, my daughter reposted the picture and said, "I survived R. Kelly."
Jesus
Wow.
Christ.
But you know, I'm not making fun of him because, in all honesty, it is an illness, and I don't want to diss him.
Why didn't you do more acting after you was hot from that appearance on Martin and stuff like that?
Well, I did. I did a lot of different movies. I mean, I went away to school. I wanted to. I was too green, and I auditioned for a lot of different roles. I just didn't get them. I mean, everything you pretty much seen that was a black film, I auditioned. I just wasn't getting it. So I moved to New Jersey, and I went to Lee Strasberg to work on my acting. And that took 2.5 years out of my life. I went back to school, got my worked on my associate's degree out here in Bergen County. Met a professor, Dr. Yasin, who kind of mentored me because I was hip hop since I was 17.
Right.
Right.
I didn't even know which demographic was playing my music. I didn't even know how powerful music was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was so pretentious. I was just full of lies.
Did you know you were Yo-Yo?
I didn't know how big I really was until I was more famous than I was financially stable.
Ooh.
Right. Especially during that time. I'm sure people thought they saw you on TV, hear the song.
Yeah.
And everybody's assuming you got money.
Yeah, well, and it was a hard act to follow. I mean, and I would try to keep up. There were certain places I just didn't go. There were certain cars I just wouldn't ride in. I mean, I went to Lee Strasberg to learn how to act, and I learned how to be real. I just, you know, I was so used to camouflaging my lifestyle. I remember people asking me, well, what do you do with your money? And I would listen to Cube say he had CDs and he would do this. And I said, oh yeah, my money's in CDs. And, yeah. But when I did this acting class, I mean, the curriculum was like 3 months out. So this one time it was this cold shower exercise we did. I'm telling you, go home, you do the cold shower, you come back, you create it sensorially in the class. So I would just come back in. I mean, I would leave. I wasn't doing the coffee cup thing, the cold shower. So I would just go in there and just fake it. And one day he said, you know what, yo, he tapped me on the shoulder. It's like 3 months in the class. He says, one day you're going to do the exercise and you're going to be good. And I looked and I said, how does he know I'm not doing the exercise? I am. And it just just the exercises, period. Everything just really changed my life. To really, if you're going to do it, really do it. And it just made me think of, how fake have I really been to people? How many people knew when I wasn't telling the truth but never said anything to me? So, it raised me up.
Do you remember the first time you felt embarrassed, like after I guess things kind of slowed down? Do you remember the first time you really felt embarrassed out in the public? Like,
yes, at a grocery store when I told my daughter we couldn't normally. I told her don't ask me for nothing, and she said it's only $20.
Ooh.
No, I haven't really been too embarrassed. Even in my darkest times of my career, I always knew that there was going to be a way out. Which way out, I didn't know because being in the industry from 17, fresh out of high school, it's the only thing I knew how to do was entertain. And I didn't even know how to represent myself because of Major Baby, everybody represented for me.
Yeah, so was your money right as far as the contracts and the deals that you were doing and the shows? Or...
it wasn't always right. I've learned a great lesson from all of that. I think we all have. Right. Everyone, even the people who I was associated with. Even Cube's camp, he's learned things. And, because we were young. We were young in the industry where we had to be grown.
And it was a kind of a newer industry still.
And it was very new.
Right.
And it was not artists against label. It was lawyers against artists. So it was a cahoots against them to us.
Were you angry at people? Were you angry at Cube, the label, or the industry in general?
No, sometimes I would wake up and say, where's my money? And I start looking through stuff and looking through papers and trying to figure out life. But not really, because Cube and I have always maintained a great brother and sister relationship. Mm-hmm. And, we've talked about the industry. We've talked about what was going on. So he put me on early to let me know, hey, this is what it is, but he has my back and has always had my back.
Did a lot of guys used to try to test you back then, try to hit on you and come onto you, or were they scared of Ice Cube as your brother?
Cube told me early on. He not having that. Don't watch this industry. It's none of that. But anyway, I was never hanging out afterwards, and then it was never none of that. Cube sent someone home from tour.
Really? Who did
my friend Nick Nack.
No, was your man?
No, a girl, Nick Nack.
Oh.
He sent her home.
She was out there being loose.
Yeah, and he put her on the bus.
Wow.
Send her back home.
Wow.
Your daughters want to get in the music industry?
You know what? My oldest daughter wants to do PR rap. She wants to do management behind the scenes. That's the one who just made me a grandma. Yay.
Congrats.
And thank you. And my youngest one, lowercase y. She hates that name now, but that's
why you call it lowercase y?
She named herself that. She's an MC. She's young, a young artist, but now she does it because, she just wants to be fly now.
Mm-hmm. What's her rap name?
Lowercase y.
Are they going to be on Love and Hip Hop?
They are.
Ooh, okay.
Yes, my kids are on Love. My mother's on Love and Hip Hop.
You got everybody on there. So now it's Love and Hip Hop. So does that mean there's some love on there too for you?
No love. Oh, no love for Yo-Yo. No love for Yo-Yo, not now. I can't walk and chew bubble gum at the same time.
Right. Oh, only one thing, work or love?
I was recently married, so of course, that didn't work, the long distance relationship. And it's easier for me to just stay focused and get what I need to get done. Mm-hmm. Because this industry, I'm growing in it, and you have to make some decisions in this industry,
Weren't you in Pocket Love back in the day? Did I hear that? Of course. I used to date?
Of course. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like y'all was a couple? Like.
Well, we grew up together. Yep, we were a couple. we became brothers and sisters. I mean, I'm great friends with his family, and I mean, to this day. To this
What happened with
day.
that relationship? How did that stray? Since y'all was so
Tupac and
close.
I?
Yeah.
Oh, I started dating someone else.
It was you.
Was it a rapper?
No.
Oh, okay.
Why's she looking at you like that?
I don't know. I'm
Well,
trying to
you
figure out
know.
where do you go from Pac?
It wasn't Pac.
But Pac was young and growing. I mean, he was just young and growing. Pac was making some crazy decisions at that time. I mean, we were just wild and free.
Oh, so he
Pac-
wasn't Pac yet. He was like early Pac, like.
He was early Pac. Yep.
Yeah.
We used to talk about his life. We used to talk about. I mean, you know, by the time Pac went to prison for the second time, we were just great friends. I mean, he would call me, you know, and we would talk on the phone. He would told me all of his moves that he was making. So we were great friends.
Did you give him any game? Like, Pac, you need to slow
Yes,
down.
do not sign that deal. Do not go over there.
With Death Row?
I told him.
Really?
Yes.
Well, how did you know that was going to be a mistake? Because
I
Death Row was
just-
red hot at the time.
Well, it was already problems. I mean, you know, it was a West Coast group, and you know, it was already a lot of
Beef.
intimidation going on in that camp already. I'm like, wow. And he was like, he got it. He can handle it. All right, well.
Well, tell us a Pac story. People love Pac stories. They love them so much. Tell us a Pac story that people might not have heard that you were around and that you seen.
A Pac story.
And we heard you left Pac for a basketball player, for a baller.
Really? Who was it? Who was the guy?
I don't know. They didn't tell me.
How do you know who told
I
you?
Googled it.
Oh.
He Googled it? My kid's father.
All right, well, it worked out.
Yeah, it worked
good
out.
decision.
Yeah,
Right.
Beautiful children.
it did work out.
That wasn't bad.
But tell us a Pac story.
Let's see, a Pac story. Oh, goodness. Let's see. A good Pac story? I don't know. Pac just was, we would always battle. I mean, you know, we would just always battle each other. He would say, you know, call him Uncle Pac and all kind of stuff. You know, he was just, you know, and he would always try to write raps for me. You know, he wanted to write a rap about, I'm in love with my best friend's man. And I said, no, I would never be in love with my best friend's man.
Controversy, baby. Controversy sells.
Yeah. Pac was just, you know, he was just who he was. I mean, he would love to take long walks. You know, he loved to talk about his history. He loved to talk about his plans. He was a visionary. He was a dreamer. You know, he was just somebody who would always, you know, he was a soldier and he was a gangster. You know, he had that type of mentality, but he was, you know, real. You know?
Did you have a problem taking lyrics from men back then?
In the beginning, I didn't, because I felt like, you know, Cube was so popular for writing for NWA that it was like, wow, he's about to put me on.
Yeah, he wrote for Easy, he wrote for Dre, why not?
Yeah, so it was almost like, you know, why not? I mean, but it did get to a point where I was like, wait, you know, you can't write it all.
Right.
But we co-wrote a lot of our songs together. I mean, and it was easy until I started wanting to write for myself. That's when it became a little bit of a struggle.
Why? Because it was challenging for you, or just because they was like, no? Let's
Well,
stick to formula?
I think I didn't know this then, but he was probably thinking, we've already created a
Image?
system for you.
Okay.
Yes. A system for you to operate within.
That works.
Stick with, and it works. Stick with it. But once I became famous and I started seeing how you go into these communities and how powerful hip hop was, and here I am doing an interview afterwards saying, oh, we're not role models. It's not up to us to raise your kids. You have to be. But then I'm seeing the influence, and it was almost like, I was like, shit, I have to write my own lyrics. I need to say something about, you know, the hip hop, or, you know, women. I need something that said
Reflects you,
something. That
right.
said something, and you know. And,
Education is important to you also.
Yep.
And what's the school, the hip hop school?
The Yo-Yo School of Hip Hop. Yep, I was working at K-Day, and parents used to call me up and ask how could they get their kids in the music programs, and I was thinking, oh, okay, we have, you know, dance programs, but there was no place for music, and I was doing a lot of different works everywhere else, and I said, wow, we should create it, and that's what I did.
Do you think if you would have branched off from Cube earlier, you might have been bigger?
You know, I think if I would have, been more free as a woman, I think I would have probably been better. and would have a lot of people who had bigger ideas for me outside of just because, you know, a group of guys creating for a woman is not always the best for the woman, because I think I couldn't really be my authentic self so much, you know?
Yeah, it's one perspective.
Exactly. So I think, I mean, you know, look at me now. I've been on my own all this time and 30 years in the game, and guess who's back?
Yeah.
The West Coast diva of rap.
Hey.
Always working.
Has it been easy for you to forgive and forget, like, how the career turned out a little bit?
Oh, you know what? That's what keeps me strong, forgiving, and I mean, empathy. I empathize with a lot of people, and I think that's what keeps me regular. That's what keeps me working on Love and Hip Hop. That's what keeps me paid. You know, I empathize with people. I got rid of my ego. I'm happy with who I am.
What made them come to you for Love and Hip Hop? How did that even happen, that conversation?
They just gave me a call.
Like, but was there something that went on, a relationship with somebody that they were like, oh, we need to bring her in because she's connected to this person? Because normally on Love and Hip Hop, there's connections.
Nope. I mean, Ray J and I are good friends, but no connections of love.
I mean, not
hip-hop.
even just love, but just relationships.
They just gave me a call. I've been everywhere. You're never there. No, I'm only
Okay.
We both everywhere.
Yes, we are. Yeah, alone.
By
What do you
ourselves.
think about female MCs now?
I love them. I mean, I
Who
think.
do you love? Who are your favorites right now?
Well, I'm loving Mew. I'm loving Rhapsody. I'm loving.
Rhapsody's the best
Did you
rapper
see it? She
of
just
any
left.
gender.
Did you see it?
No.
She just left. Maybe.
Oh, for real? Oh, yep. I love Rhapsody. I'm loving. Who else am I loving? Real ass to give it. No, I'm just joking. I love
City Girls.
City Girls. I mean, you know, I love. I just love that female artist. I don't get a chance to listen to a lot of it. Some of it is just way too much for my ears nowadays because it's just, you know.
I always wonder about that though, because the Little Kim Foxy era was just as raunchy.
I know. And I mean, the raunchy is okay. I mean, I'm good with it. I just like the balance. There's no more balance. When we came up, there was a balance. So I'm happy to have all of the women get their shine.
Right.
But I think there are some who's not getting enough shine. Like, I think, you know, somebody's getting 2 million spins and, you know, it's just not enough
But
to
they
go
have a battle
around.
line drawn back then? Because I think about the remix with Brandy was you, MC Light, and Queen Latifah. So that's a certain tribe of female rappers. But then you had the Kims and the Foxy still. Was there like was there battle lines drawn back then?
No,
Yeah.
just between them.
Or
Yeah, I've never had any battle information. I've always been about the brand. I've always been an entertainer. It's always been about entertainment for me. I mean, you know, I've really never had any beef with anybody that I can think of.
in '94, did you testify at a Senate Judiciary Committee hearing about
Yeah.
whether the government should require rating labels for gangsta
Right,
rap?
yeah, the parental guidance thing. Yeah,
Really?
yep.
What was the verdict in that?
Well, we have the stickers.
Yeah,
We-
you see the
they don't
stickers.
censor. They didn't censor hip hop, and you know, a little bit of me feels like we should have policed a little bit of our music. I just think right now it's just a little bit wild. What do you think?
I
I
think
think-
it's hard because it's a balance between some people feel like we should all have the license to say whatever it is that we want to say.
Right.
And like you said, some people feel like we're not role models. That's something that should come from your home. And it's just entertainment. And you see things in movies and in video games and it's just
Right.
entertainment. But I also feel like certain artists are going to feel like I do have a responsibility. And I think if it's who you are.
Oh,
like
got
who
you.
you are is
Got
somebody
you.
that is a role model and somebody that is like, I don't want to say these things because it's not me. And that's not your reality. So I think it's
Right.
good when people can do things based on their reality. If you're telling a story and it's coming from somewhere that's an experience that you really had, and you can paint that as art, then I
Yeah.
can understand it and I can relate, or at least you can relate to it. But if it's something that you're just making up and saying things because it's popular, I think that's whack.
That's the problem. Niggas is lying. And you had, and you had these record labels promoting that bullshit.
Right?
You
Yeah,
know what I'm
that's
saying?
right. Yeah, I agree.
Don't talk
But-
about
yeah,
all
I
these
think-
drugs you use and you ain't never used no drugs.
They do the
Absolutely.
same thing in the movies, though. It's all a lie, but that's why I like the stick.
But you know it's
put
a
the stick in
movie
it.
though.
But these kids shouldn't. They should know that these people
Well,
ain't
but they-
shooting 37
but
people.
but they don't, and that's what I say about how the kids are watching. They really are not. Look how many kids are doing drugs because they think kids are doing drugs in hip hop.
A lot of them rappers are doing drugs, though.
Oh, they are.
I think so.
That's it. That explains it.
And I also think people look at hip hop as coming from reality. That's kind of what the definition of what hip hop was supposed to be when it was created. It
Yeah.
was,
I mean, I'm
your
happy that
voice.
it's come this far. I didn't think hip hop would come this far. I was hoping it would, but I never knew for sure.
Do you and Q still stay in touch now?
We do. We are just trying to get some of our songs licensed in some movies. So.
Really?
And on streaming services, right?
Yeah, well, streaming wise, we are working on that because we come from the old school, so that wasn't a part of our deal. So now we have to go back, he and I, and sit down and have a conversation about that as well.
We need that.
Yeah, I know, right?
What problems do you think the industry faces now? What's the biggest problems you think?
I have no idea. I'm just getting back in it.
Or just from the outside looking in?
Just the perception. I think the industry is doing great. I think the industry is growing, to be totally honest. I think it's the biggest entity that there is right now. I mean, if you wanted to go in a certain direction, you can go there. But I have no idea. The problems, I only look at the brighter side.
All right. Whenever I see rappers from that era, your era, I say to myself, damn, they survived.
Right.
Do you ever feel that way?
Listen, I just did a show last night. KRS-One, who else? Rob Bass, Onyx, Kumo D. Right. I mean, yeah, it's not easy for artists. It's not easy. I love it. I'm with the new school now. Check me out on Love and Hip Hop on Mondays, VH1. I'm not old. I'm with the new school.
Hey.
Yo.
Well, we appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
It's
Absolutely.
Yo-Yo.
Yes.
It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
And if you do anything crazy on Love and Hip Hop, we are gonna at you and text you and be like, "What are you
What
doing?"
the hell? No dragging her by the hair and say, didn't I say? All right. None of that. Thank you.